Hello guys, and welcome back to another game on Arabia. We're in here for round 2, essentially, with Liereyy versus TheViper yet again. Liereyy in the green playing as the Magyars. His opponent, of course, going to be the Viper playing in the red as the Berbers. Both civs we're kind of starting to see a bit now, and I think we're really starting to understand a little bit more on how they work. Berbers, of course, as we know, Camel Archers are really the unit to kind of go from, so interesting to see where he's going to go with it, but Camel Archers is generally where we see Berber players go to straight away. Usually some kind of just arch range play. Then, of course, you know, has the options for camels and things like that as well, thanks to, of course, the cheaper units, which always helps out a little bit from there. That's basically all we've really seen from Berbers, I think, overall. It's really their kind of MO is if they can get a castle up, go into Camel Archers and call it a day from there. Magyars, like we know, a little bit cheaper scouts, which is nice, so we usually see a scout opening from them. Then they generally transition up into either archers, cavalry archers, something along that, especially with recurve bow being a tech from them, of course, giving them +1 range, +1 damage. Actually a huge technology. That said, if the Camel Archers are out in play, we're not going to see, or hopefully we shouldn't see Cavalry Archers as, I guess, a main unit. Might see them mixed in just for some villager kills, but overall the Camel Archers will take them down very, very quickly. Of course, Magyar Hussars, this goes into a long game, because that's where we'll kind of come into Jack, King, Queen, Ace, everything being reliant on gold. Getting those little bit stronger Magyar Hussars in there, gonna kind of help, but overall, I think we're going to see a pretty stock standard game out of this one, and just basically see both players go head to head, and exactly how it plays out, we're going to have to wait and see. So let's check out the map, try and make some predictions, and move in from there. So the Viper, looking at his map here, it's actually quite nice. Straight away, he's got these 3 patches of trees around his town center, so he does have walling options straight away, whether he wants to kind of cut off some of these routes to his base. Of course, he can just go across here as well, and that'll basically seal off the entire right side. It looks like he's going to go for his main lumber down here in the back. Wouldn't surprise me if we see a split probably to the top later on in the game. He's got his berries in the back as well, so of course maximizing the rush distance is going to be really, really nice to get as much resource in as he can, and of course prepare for anything coming his way. He does have stone on the front and gold on the front. Would have been really nice to see a stone in the back from him as well, just so he would be more likely to try and get that up straight away. Get that castle, be able to transition to Camel Archers nice and quickly. However, because they're on the front here, he will have to play a little bit more of an aggressive game style to try and hold these ones down, or go for some big walls, and we're talking like opening up this entire area. With the forward gold as well, hopefully we'll see some aggressive play, because after all, the best defense is a good offense. As for Lierey's map, let's have a look at what we've got. Very similar to Viper's straight away. He's got the 3 woods to kind of pick from there. Has decided to put it up over on this one here on the right. Wouldn't surprise me if they split lumber over here eventually. From there, berries in the back, so again, nice rush distancing. Does have a stone in the back, but Magyars, I don't think it's going to be quite as necessary, if that kind of helps at all. Viper clicking up to Feudal Age. Liereyy just going down with Loom, so we'll be behind him very, very shortly. Gold Camp getting thrown up as well, so we should see an archery transition very, very quickly. And potentially going to see a drush off the back of this as well. Both plays, again, going up very, very early. 20 villages for Viper, 21 for Liereyy, and at the same time, we're just seeing these uptimes get so good, and it's getting to a point now where players are just absolutely phenomenal at this game, and getting up there at the moment, you need to know what you're doing, which is another reason I'm so happy to see Liereyy up here as well. Looks like that militia going to take a little bit of extra damage here. He's got the wolf after him, he's got the scout after him, and this is actually really going to delay the push and actually make it so much less effective. Might actually lose this militia here as well. Man, this actually could not have gone any worse for Liereyy in this situation. He might actually lose this militia as well. Pulls in the scout to help with it, and whoa, that's not what you want to see. Viper is up. He's got horse collar. He's got double bit going down at the same time. Looks like the archery range. No, stable getting dropped at the front. I forgot he is a Berbers. So, gonna see that stable move in straight away and potentially see the double archery from Liereyy. He was going for that one, but stable probably going to be... No, archery. Really interesting is actually not making use of those cheaper scouts. Ooh, interesting. We're going to see something a little bit different. It looks like he's trying to deny the stable as much as possible. However, Viper will manage to get it up. Hopefully shouldn't lose a villager either. Both these guys looking on about half HP, but at the end of the day, both going to survive, both going to drop farms near the TC, and then, of course, from there, sit under its protective eye. Oh, yeah, so they're going to keep this one going on. Couple of spears out from Viper as well, defense against any of those preempted scouts that he's expecting. But at the same time, though, the archery transition, of course, going to at least get him a little bit of surprise there. I think Viper was definitely expecting scouts from Magyar players. I know I definitely was with their bonus, and it looks like he will lure these spears actually out of position here as well. Not going to be too big a deal, but at the same time, if we get some archers kind of wrapping around here, it's going to be a little bit decent. Looks like we did see the split lumber as well. It's actually split over to the left. As for Liereyy, what have we got? What do you find over here? Nothing. Don't worry. Don't worry, I got excited. Ooh, Viper missed out on 2 sheep. That sucks. Liereyy. What else have we got going on this map? Both players at the moment just kind of trying to build up their forces. Liereyy going for a pretty big wall off by looks of things. However, did miss a tile there, so the scouts will get into the base. Potentially going to be able to lose a couple of villages over here, or at least get some harassment going on, depending on how he reacts, and tries to just get a little bit of harassment in there. Liereyy not falling for it. Double archery, of course, reducing archers as well. As soon as this maximum kind of reach starts to happen on these guys, you're going to have to worry about these scout cavalry a lot more, because there is, of course, that death ball. Once you hit that point, the scouts will be severely ineffective in play. So, Liereyy, what is the game plan right now? Getting a little bit more harasser. Looks like we do have a spearman out in play as well, so can be able to defend that gold relatively easy. And it looks like he's actually going to hunt the deer over here as well. That's nice. Blacksmith getting thrown up, so Fletching going to be on the way very, very soon. Viper looks like he's starting his archery transition now. It hasn't actually started on gold, though, so it looks like we may be seeing a couple of skirmishes from him before we see too much unfold. His scouts at the moment just poking and prodding, looking for somewhere they can actually do some damage. I don't think this gap has been filled yet either. You've got to be very, very careful with these hills, because sometimes it is very hard to see these tiles in between, where units can sneak through like we saw before. Spear looking defensive. How are we doing over here? Blacksmith. So Fletching going down for Liereyy. Town Watch going down for Viper. As you said, one of his favorite researchers in the entire game. And it looks like a Blacksmith getting down for Viper as well. So going to be a good place to get some skirmishes out by looks of things. Still hasn't taken gold, so that should be his plan. Liereyy, of course, going mostly on gold at the moment, so should be able to castle a little bit earlier than Viper, and at the same time have a little bit more of a stronger force for killing villagers. That said, though, Viper should be able to push this back with skirmishes at relatively easy, provided he has the numbers. That's where he's going to run into the trouble. Of course, Fletching has not been done for a Viper yet. Should be seeing it very, very soon. And there we go, Fletching going down now. You can see a little bit of a scout exchange here. A couple of the archers push their way in. Can potentially deny this wood over here for a little bit. Luckily, the split should help him out a little bit in the end. But the scout's going to get maneuvered into position as well. Ooh, going to lose a village there. That was a really good pick from Liereyy. And potentially going to take out one of these guys as well. Taking out a scout, losing quite a few archers in play. A fantastic wall off there from Viper. Wouldn't surprise me if he just goes to villager. Whoa, he's not even going to go to the villager. This is a phenomenal play. We should see these get deleted off any second now as well. That was a phenomenal trap there from Viper. Really well played overall, and that's the kind of play that really separates these guys from a lot of the other ranked players out there. High ranked, but just quick maneuvering like that. Of course, the thought process to do it as well. He just took out a lot of archers for practically nothing and gains himself a nice little advantage at the moment. 31 Vipers of villagers for Viper. There we've got 34 for Liereyy in the villager table. 10 military for Viper, so he manages to take the lead just from that one there. That tricky maneuver going to gain him a couple of points there. And of course, Liereyy on 7 military comparisons. So, looks like Viper has got a little bit of an upper hand in this one at the moment. Not quite so many villagers out in play, so not looking quite as good in terms of eco, but we can just see Wheelbarrow is on the way down. Viper could be starting to think about going up to the next stage. He is starting to stockpile some food there, and are we going to see... Ooh, didn't go for the villager kill. Really surprised about that. Could have potentially got a freebie over there on the right-hand side as well. Defensive tower coming up from Liereyy by the looks of things. Going to defend that gold as best he can. And of course, not being in exactly a beautiful position. He's got this hill he has to try and defend from. It's very, very open, so definitely a smart play from him. Town Watch going down from Liereyy as well, so hopefully going to detect any kind of attacks before they come in. That said, Viper got some skirmishes on the front. We'll be trying to do some kind of damage with them, and potentially going to overchop here at the front as well, so has to be careful of that. Looks like a scout was just killed off by a skirmisher up the front. And it looks like the overchop's going to happen, but Viper's not really in a position to take advantage of it at the moment. There we go, so he has got the tile open. And looks like he is going to send up a building anyway, so he has realized he has done an overchop, and he is going to wall that back in, so very well played by Liereyy there as well. I'm going to speed things along a little bit here, just so we start to get out of this little bit of a stalemate, because both players really just looking for an advantage at the moment. Both just playing a really watertight game at the moment, not too much either player can really take advantage of. Viper going down with padded archer armor, interesting. Usually that's done after the click up to next stage, so he could be committing to kind of getting in under these towers, getting in against the archers and around the TC, try and do some damage. We have seen a stable get thrown up by Liereyy though, so potentially going to see some knights from him do a little bit of damage on the way through. Wheelbarrow down from Liereyy as well, so should be just about ready to up by the looks of things. And looking at that food count, we're going to be seeing it any second. One more villager, and we should be hopefully just about there. The same should be said of Viper too. He's just about got the resource in the bank. Both players are neck and neck at the end of this one. Archer's moving out across the map for Liereyy now as well. Viper, of course, taking gold on the front here. Got a couple of units back at base to try and defend off anything that comes in. However, he may be able to get 1 or 2 villager picks. It's just going to come down to how good an eye he is of keeping the, well, his eyes on the minimap. And look at that. They're out of there before anything can happen. And Liereyy, of course, forced to back off. Liereyy clicking up to castle a little bit earlier there. We've got about 10 seconds between, so not going to be a huge difference overall. A little bit of tech, but of course it means Liereyy will have to basically push that advantage while he can. Second stable going up, so it looks like we will definitely be seeing knights. Horse collar coming down, and what have we got over here? It looks like the archers have been split up a little bit. Could potentially see these guys try and poke and prod, get some kind of damage in, but both players at the moment playing so well. It may not look like much, but both of them are basically running a very intricate dance at the moment, trying to commit, and then of course getting pushed back home as soon as they realize there's nothing here defending, that an attack must be coming. Again, I'm just loving these set, guys. Like, look how nice everything looks. This is just beautiful. Couple of skirmishes on the front, should give him early warning, and it looks like that's exactly what he's going to do, and I'll show you exactly what I mean. He's moved these guys out so we can kind of see exactly what's coming on around here. He's got the hill advantage as well. Archers are going to push forward. Viper going down with Bloodline, Scale Barding going down for Liereyy, so both players going to be committing to a little bit of stable play here by the looks of things. Probably a couple of camels, if possible, from Viper to try and combat the knights, I guess he's probably going to be expecting. Couple of villagers moving forward here, could be a bad situation. Gonna lose one, a couple more skirmishes moving forward. Taking the villagers off gold, so we'll get a little bit of harassment in there. However, the skirmish is going to come through and Liereyy going to back off because it is not worth losing these units to skirmishes at the moment. Of course, it is a trash unit versus a gold tier unit. Viper going down with Scale Barding, Liereyy hitting a Castle Age, so we're seeing Crossbow, Bodkin, both get clicked up. There we go, and looks like he will be dropping that castle, so we should be seeing some Camel Archers pretty effective in use very, very soon. Shouldn't be seeing too many cavalry archers, I guess, from Liereyy at this point. He knows that camel archers are such a strong unit. He's got knights in play at the moment, so he should be able to hopefully deal with this one as best as possible. Siege Workshop actually going down on the front as well. Question being, did he spot that castle coming up? I think he did with the crossbows, but let's just check. No, he hasn't actually spotted that castle, so it looks like he was planning on getting aggressive before he saw this one. Elite Skirmisher going down from Viper. Viper trying to deny as much of this fight time here as possible. And Elite Skirmisher going to finish up, of course. No Bodkin Arrow yet either. Knight's going to be able to tear these skirmishes apart, so you're going to have to be very, very careful with his play here. He's going to see the castle. Is he going to go for the attack anyway? And it looks like he will back off before it comes up, just so he doesn't take too much damage there. And we're going to see a couple of Mangonels. Mangonels, of course, still not going to be quite so effective versus the castle. The castle's starting off with that 8 range, whereas we know the Mangonel's just not going to be able to get in there and do the damage. Extra mining camp getting thrown down. It looks like Viper is going to retreat to his base as best as possible. Bodkin, Arrow, Gold Mining, Heavy Plow, Bowsaw, all going down for Viper. Looks like he does want to play a little bit of an eco-heavy game here. Liereyy going down with Bloodlines, going to get all that extra kind of goodness he can on his Knights, be able to soak up as much damage. That said, if he gets on top of him back here, going to be relying very heavily on this castle for defense. So if he gets into these wood camps at the moment, not going to be a good spot. And it looks like the skirmish is going to be forced back. Did lose a villager there, lost a spear as well. Going to lose a couple more units in play here by looks of things as well. A couple of skirmishes retreating back to the town center. And losing another one as well. This is a good little push here from Liereyy, getting a little bit of an advantage without losing too much, which is nice. We have seen the start of the Camel Archers though from Viper. Where is this going to go? Just doing a quick recap of what we've got. We've got 46 villagers out on field for Liereyy, 39 for Viper, 27 at military for Liereyy, and only 13 for Viper. So it looks like Liereyy is at a little bit of a, I guess, better spot at the moment. But it's a matter of how much damage he can do with this and how Viper can hold it. Are we seeing any extra town centers? That's a lot of idols over there. It looks like he is going to go for a town center in the middle here by the looks of things. Yep, there we go. And trying to get some damage in here, but it's just not working out too well. Leather Archer armor coming down and Scale Mail armor coming down for Liereyy. Why does he want Scale Mail? This is going to charge pikes. I can't imagine that being a good use of your unit resources, but sure, why not? We've gone for an extra town center, so no extra town centers from Liereyy as well. Looks like we are seeing a very heavy and battering rams. He wants to deal with these castle, ladies and gentlemen. He is not happy with it here. We'll be pushing it down as best as possible. Moving into pikes as well. Explains why we saw the Scale Mail, but not sure exactly what they're going to be able to do here. Naturally, they will get bonus damage versus the camels when they get in nice and close, but until then, they will get cut to shreds. You have to be very, very careful with this one. Keep a good eye on the way this plays out. Again, Liereyy just dancing around, looking for an opening as best as possible. Viper pulling villagers whenever they start to get threatened, so a really good play from him, not losing an overly large amount of villagers. And again, chainmail coming down for Liereyy, so he's really going to be committing to those pikes at the moment. Super, super interesting to see that. Gold, of course, has heaps of income for that one there, has heaps of income for wood, not quite so much on the farms at the moment, and of course, stone, very, very minimalist as well. In fact, let's have a look over at what resources actually got there. That is not the button I want, that one is, and he's looking very low on the old food count there. He's still got a little bit of gold income, still got that wood income, so he's okay on that front, but the camel archers are where it's going to really start to hurt. Knights moving in, they're going to be able to soak up quite a bit of that damage. They only do have the +1 at the moment, 120 HP still, but still looking pretty good versus, you know? Crossbows trying to find an entry point, and it looks like the number of pikes we're going to have out going to go up quite significantly very, very soon. Got the double barracks out in play, and hopefully we'll be committing to that one. The Camel Archer's doing quite a good job at pushing in here, trying to do the damage where they can, and just really keeping Liereyy at bay. Lierey's still got a little bit of a score increase. Has he gone down for a second TC yet, or is Viper going to start to get away with that one? Looks like Viper has not actually gone for a third TC, and Liereyy only sitting on 1. Yes, Ballistics going down for Viper as well, going to make his units so much more effective. The amount of micro that's going to take from Liereyy to actually be able to avoid these shots now, very, very high. Moving in with a couple of Camel Archers to do some damage against this wood line over here. But Liereyy, though, I'm a little bit worried. He's only on 1 TC. There's 3 villagers killed off, potentially a 4th as well. 4th, and oh, what was this house for? What was this house? He's trying to wall him in here, but it didn't work. The trap just didn't work. At the same time, of course, going to lose quite a significant amount of villagers there. Going to lose some pikes as well. Viper actually getting a really good foothold back in here at the moment. We've only got 50 points difference in score. Dead even with villager counts, ladies and gentlemen. 50 to 50. 42-43 army for Liereyy, though, compared to the 23 of Viper. Of course, we do know Liereyy is a lot more... Whoa, I nearly missed this. This is bad. Lot of battering rams moving in now against Castle. Viper trying to throw up some walls around it to negate as much surface area as he can. Camel Archer sitting under it and really trying to do the damage. The pikes are soaking up so much of that castle damage at the moment. Doing a really good job against the skirmishers as well, actually. A lot of rams on that castle now at the moment. Not sure if he's going to be able to hold this push. Viper... He's got villagers in there actually trying to tank the battering rams as much as possible. Losing quite a significant amount to those crossbows as well. This really hurts. Going to lose another one. Castle should go down here as well. I don't think he's going to get the repair in time. There we go. Battering rams getting taken down very, very quickly. This is make or break time for Liereyy, though. He's lost nearly all of his army. That one mangonel from Viper going to be able to take out most of those battering rams. We are down to 9 military count for... 9 military count for Liereyy. He lost a lot in that attack. Managed to take down the castle, but I don't think it was worth it. He's got nothing to hold Viper from here, and the damage was just astronomical that he took. He got rid of the castle, sure, but he's got nothing left to play with. Viper already down in terms of villagers, so he's got 47 compared to the 53 of Liereyy. 15 to 10 in terms of the actual military count at the moment. But these Camel Archers are going to have a field day now. Viper's going to catch up in terms of villagers so quickly. What have we got? No second TC still. And I'm just waiting to see these Camel Archers get in there and do the damage, because I don't think Lierey's going to be able to defend off against it at the moment. 700 points behind, a third TC coming up for Viper as well, so really wanting to take advantage of this one. Forcing him away from this lumber camp down the bottom. Going to force him off this gold, because of course these Camel Archers just going to be able to soak up that tower damage. Not really going to care. 80 hit points on those guys, 1+2 armor, in a really decent spot to kind of do the damage here now. And I think Liereyy kind of knows this. He's looking to get as many of his villagers inside these TCs as possible. And... are we going to go take out one unit there? Viper with complete map control at the moment now as well. Liereyy just has nothing to move out with. Where is his military? He's got one knight hanging out over here. And a couple of crossbows he's going to try and defend this hill with. But at the same time, Camel Archers are going to eat these guys for a breakfast, even under the tower. This is not good for Liereyy at all. Viper looking back at base. How are we doing? Looks like he's going up to extra stone. Wants to get another castle up if possible. Keep that Camel Archer production up. And Viper actually starting to get more resource in there as well. Using the market to balance up his economy. Liereyy going down with padded archer armor. What are we seeing there? Oh, that hurts. Losing the mangonel there as well. Lierey's selling off some food. And this is not looking good. Currently, we're looking at 72 pop for the Viper, 74 Liereyy. Viper up in terms of villager count now as well. 60 villagers compared to the 56 of Liereyy. So that 3 TC absolutely doing work for him. We've got 2 around the side here, so a really well defended eco. 1 over here as well. And what have we got thrown up? Another monastery. Is it Viper thinking about Imperial, or is he worried about his opponent going into Knights? That's the question right now. I don't think I have the answer to either of them. Viper actually 1,000 points up, going to deny the Lumber on this side here as well. Those Camel Archers are just doing work. What have we got coming up in the back? A University for Liereyy, of course, does need that ballistics research as much as possible. And a couple of sheep still just hanging out down here, because why not? Scouting around, it looks like the Mangonel will be pushed forward with the crossbows here, doing a decent job. The Mangonel, though, you can see a Mangonel trade. No, some good micro from Viper, good micro from both players, and, oh, that's fantastic play. Potentially going to be able to get a big hit, 1-for-1 trade there. A lot of crossbows in the middle of the map here. Viper going down with another castle, pretty much the exact same spot as well. You'll see he's going for a little bit of a more defendable location. However, the crossbows for Liereyy moving forward could potentially do a little bit of damage here if he gets into Glenlin's woodline. Could potentially take a couple of villages out. And there we go. Viper, of course, with the garrison. Going to defend them very, very well. Looks like he's looking for a reason to move in with his Camel Archers. Just can't find it right now. Mangonel moving in, potentially going to be able to try and deletes off the gold mine as well. Potentially going to get a good hit in here. Could sandwich them with the Camel Archers and the Mangonel, and that's going to be a big hit. That's done some really decent splash damage. May lose the Mangonel, but the Camel Archers should be able to move in and finish him now. Lots of these guys on very, very low health, under halfway. Mangonel moves forward. Viper trying to throw up a defensive tower, however, being forced to cancel it out by Liereyy. Going to kill that villager with falling rocks. Rocks fall, everybody dies. Crossbows moving forward again. Hopefully Viper not going to spy it. And yes, he will get the garrison there as well. That defensive tower still coming up. And Liereyy deciding this is game. We have seen the Camel Archers move in, do the damage over here. He's denied so much of this resource at the moment. Viper just in such a good spot economically. 74 villages compared to the 63. A little bit lower on the military count, but complete map control. This is all Liereyy had. He couldn't do any damage with it like Viper was proving over here. The castle was up, so the gold was defended. Liereyy just had nowhere to go. He was just out of the game, and he knew exactly where he was. Hope you enjoyed, guys. I'll catch you in the next one.